For over a century, the story of human evolution featured a very specific villain, the knuckle-dragging, club-wielding Neanderthal. This image of a dim-witted brute, incapable of standing upright, was ingrained for generations, a convenient evolutionary dead end to make our own survival look inevitable. That arrogant assumption fell apart in 2010. Researchers at the Max Planck Institute sequenced the Neanderthal genome, allowing us to read their ancient DNA for the very first time. The sequencing revealed a startling biological reality. Virtually every non-African person alive today carries between 1 to 3% Neanderthal DNA. Some geneticists argue that a significant portion of their total ancestry survives today, scattered broadly across the modern population. Our ancestors assimilated the Neanderthals into the human population. This leaves us with a profound question. What ancient traits are currently operating inside our bodies right now? Visible physical traits often trace directly back to Neanderthal adaptations. Their variants, evolved for the low-light northern latitudes of Ice Age Europe, contributed to lighter skin pigmentation, red or blonde hair, and blue eyes in modern populations. Further down, we inherited hidden biological machinery. We carry their blood-clotting variants, an incredibly useful trait for surviving injuries during close-quarters mammoth hunts, though today, those same variants slightly increase our risk of strokes. This chart compares average modern human cranial capacity against the Neanderthal average. While our brains average roughly 1,300 cubic centimeters, male Neanderthals averaged 1,600 cubic centimeters, a difference of roughly 30%. Their brain structure was highly specialized. The skull was elongated from back to front, making room for expanded sensory processing regions. Their eye sockets were 15% larger than ours, providing the visual acuity needed to hunt in long, dark winters. These were highly tuned evolutionary assets, belonging to an apex survivor in a brutal environment. The biological evidence for complex speech is strong. We share exact mutations in the FOXP2 gene required for clear articulation. High-resolution CT scans of their fossilized inner ears confirm they possessed hearing optimized for the high-frequency range necessary to distinguish complex consonants. They utilized this communication to transmit knowledge. We find identical, highly complex mycocochian hand axes across thousands of miles, from Germany all the way to Siberia. This level of technical craftsmanship required conceptual explanation to pass between generations. They also purposefully engineered their landscapes. Soil records show they used controlled burns to clear dense undergrowth for hunting. They even built specialized processing camps to systematically boil and extract dense bone fat from massive herbivores, balancing their carnivorous diets to avoid protein poisoning. Inside caves, archaeology reveals a rich inner world. At Shanidar, they deliberately buried their dead with offerings of flower pollen. In Spain, they created red ochre hand stencils and abstract geometric art over 60,000 years ago, long before Homo sapiens ever reached the continent. Their capacity for language, art, and environmental management reflects a high level of abstract thought and societal organization. Our emotional landscape is also shaped by their genetics. Modern humans carry Neanderthal variants of the oxytocin receptor gene, directly influencing how we build trust, manage social memory, and form familial bonds. That biological predisposition for compassion is written into the bone. The fossil record contains individuals who survived for years with debilitating severe injuries. They lived because their groups consistently fed, protected, and cared for them. Other inherited emotional traits acted as shields. Genetic variants that make modern humans susceptible to heightened anxiety or intense stress responses originally served as a vital danger radar. In a world full of apex predators, hypervigilance kept vulnerable family units alive. Traits we now associate with neurodiversity were likely essential assets. Intense, hyper-focused attention to detail and extreme sensory pattern recognition provided critical advantages for manufacturing complex stone tools and tracking herd movements across fractured terrain. Our capacity for deep empathy, group care, and cognitive diversity did not emerge solely with our own species. We inherited them from ancestors often dismissed as simple brutes. Given their intelligence, physical dominance, and tight-knit social networks, we must look at what forces were actually capable of overwhelming them. Around 50,000 years ago, relentless climate shifts abruptly dropped temperatures across Europe. The dense forests where Neanderthals utilized their explosive, close-quarters ambush hunting tactics vanished, replaced by sprawling, hostile open tundra. Then, colossal volcanic eruptions tore through Italy and the Caucasus. Massive clouds of ash and sulfur blocked the sun, triggering an ecological collapse and starving out the food chain they relied on. The final environmental blow came from space. During the Lachamps excursion, Earth's magnetic field weakened to roughly 5% of its usual strength, bathing the higher northern latitudes in harmful cosmic radiation and driving severe health crises among the remaining population. Homo sapiens arrived to find a population already collapsing under an apocalyptic cascade of natural disasters. Our presence merely provided the final competitive pressure on a group already decimated by its environment. As the environment degraded, fragments of the Neanderthal population encountered the expanding waves of Homo sapiens. They mingled, they formed alliances, and they interbred. The proof is in the physical remains. We find ancient hybrid skeletons featuring a clear mosaic of traits, craniums shaped like early modern humans, but anchored by the heavy brow ridge and robust jaw of a Neanderthal. This legacy endures physically and emotionally within the biology of billions of people today. Human identity is not defined by strict species boundaries or genetic purity. It is a deeply interconnected web of ancient lineages sharing technology, territory, and bloodlines over hundreds of thousands of years. Our core traits, our empathy, our compassion, and our emotional depth, are a shared blueprint. Every time we connect, care for our injured, or seek out our family, we are echoing the Neanderthals.